From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
You're watching All-Star 15 TV. To bring you all the action from Derby, Connecticut, here is AJ Capote.
Hello everybody and welcome to All-Star 15 TV. Here tonight we bring to you our Monday night recurring series, the Pony Express Open Wheel for Amateurs. We are literally halfway through the season and we are coming to you all the way from Loudon, New Hampshire at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Right now we are just finishing up the practice session, gonna head to qualifying in just a moment. Make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe to All-Star 15 TV. We are also in association with Extreme Sim TV. Matt Johnson over there doing a lot of cool stuff. Go check them out as well. For tonight's event, as always, we will have a first feature listed at 20 minutes. Have a 5-minute warm-up, little intermission, and then go straight into our main feature, feature number 2, for 30 minutes around this New Hampshire Motor Speedway road course. Right now, we're looking at about a minute.1 lap time at the highest, and currently Zach Purcell will come home fastest in practice, running just about 14 laps, followed by Paul Boyle and Tristan Buse. So, with that being said, we're going to go to qualifying. And before we really see times on the racetrack, we will send it to both the Canadian and American national anthems. And we are back here in New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Thank you to the YouTubes for the Canadian and American national anthems here. We are just about halfway through qualifying, just about 2 minutes shy of halfway. So why don't we take you to tonight's race infos? There it is, Pony Express Open Wheel for Amateurs at New Hampshire. We are looking at a 13-turn racetrack. None of the oval is really being used outside of parts of the front stretch and back stretch. We do go into the seasonal lot after the turn 4, followed by the turn 5, the right-handed turn 5, the left-hander sweeping turn 6, and then we start heading back, turn 7, turn 8, turn 9, and turn 10 back on the racetrack. This is a 1.5 mile race course, and we are looking at a track temperature of 70 degrees while the ambient temperature is 66. Dew point is set around 25, and it is partly cloudy. Should get about just under 20 laps in the first session and just under 30 laps in the second session. Or just over, I apologize, on both those sessions. So just over 20 and just over 30. So with that being said, let's check out some of our qualifying times. Mark Dillon puts up the fastest time at a 101.83 for the time being. We're currently looking at Tyler Watts, who has finished. Everybody has taken a time. Everybody has 100% taken a time so far. But Paul Boyle coming to that checkered lap goes P2. P2 just 0.03 off of Sheriff Mark Dillon. And it looks like Tyler Langenberg was not able to get a successful time in. He has completed all 3 laps, or all 2 laps, but did go off track on both runarounds. So those times were invalid as he just completely demolishes the front of that car. Once again, thank you everybody for being here tonight. Tonight is a very, very special evening for myself personally, because it is the 2nd year anniversary of Nerds Doing Nerd Things, the podcast I run, and today marks 2 years of since the Dark Knight trilogy came out. And if you really want to hear some funny stuff, go back and listen to it, because we are very, very raw. And now that we've had about 150 episodes under our belt, I feel we're a little bit better. Still funny though, still very funny, but a little bit better. But with 4 minutes left in practice, everybody's going to be able to use the restroom, grab a drink, get ready to go. But I will bring up the starting lineup as they start to grid. But here's a little preview going across the top of your screen. Sheriff Mark Dillon will lead this field to the green with a 1 minute 1 second .825, followed by Paul Boyle. Tristan Buse in third. Fourth goes to Brad McCombs. Fifth is Zach Purcell, who was fastest in practice. Zachary Nurnberger is gonna start in the 6th position. 7th will go to Tyler Watts. Dustin Dosvase is gonna start 8th. Aaron Claybaugh is gonna start 9th. 10th will go to Tony Watson. James Boatman will start 11th. And Tyler Langenberg is going to start shotgun on the field, P12. Once again, thank you everybody for being here on this Monday night. Hopefully the first day of the work week has gone by well for you, and the rest of the week goes by well for you. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel for all things Pony Express. We are halfway through the season here tonight, pulling up their schedule. There it is. I was going to be able to find it. Next week, they go to Knock Hill International on June 6th, June 13th. Well, in 2 weeks, because next Monday is Memorial Day. So June 6th, Knock Hill International, followed by on the 13th Summit Point. And then we go all the way to Australia for Phillip Island on the 20th. 27th goes to Winston. And the 11th of July, we go to Barber Motorsport Park. On the 18th, we go to Olton Park. And then we end the season on July 25th at the Charlotte Roval course. So you guys have not seen anything yet. It's going to be very entertaining, very fun. Thank you all for being here once again. We got a minute and a half left in this qualifying session. We are going to send it to the sponsor of All-Star 15 TV, the Nerds Do Nerd Things podcast, for a quick commercial. Here is their open for the race.
From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
You're watching All-Star 15 TV. To bring you all the action from Derby, Connecticut, here is AJ Capola.
And we are back. Nerds Doing Nerd Things. Every Friday, new episode releases on wherever you would like to find your podcasts. This week's episode, it is Sonic the Hedgehog 2 movie, where they review and recap the movie. So go check them out. Go check us out. It's a lot of fun, and we have a lot of awesome episodes coming out very shortly. Last season, I'm pretty sure on this channel exactly, we broadcast the Pony Express Pro 4 trucks here at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway and their road course. A lot of fun. It was absolutely crazy. And boy, was there some beating and banging. And here we go. We are going to start to grid. Let's show you that starting lineup. Sheriff Mark Dillon, Paul Boyle, your front row. Tristan Buse, Brad McCombs going to start in row 2. Zach Purcell, Zachary Nurnberg are going to start in the 3rd row. 4th row goes Tyler Watts, Dustin Vase. Aaron Claybaugh and Tony Watson going to be your 5th row. And your 6th row consists of James Boatman and Tyler Langenberg. So we're getting ready to go. Everybody has gridded except Sheriff Mark Dillon. Still waiting on that grid. Does have just about a minute to do it. If not, we are going to go green without him, and that'll be very unfortunate. You're currently looking, there he is. There's our pole sitter, Sheriff Mark Dillon. Here we go, getting ready. Gonna get a full lap in pace mode. And it looks like that iRacing Porsche pace car is here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. A very good looking car. Everybody's gonna try to warm up their tires. You don't want those cold Pirelli tires to be cold. You want them to be warm. You want them to have grip. Unfortunately, they're only using part of the actual oval here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway that the NASCAR guys, the modified guys, and girls use. So not a lot of tire grip there. So they're gonna have to make their own grip, and it's gonna take the whole first session to grip up for the second one. See if we can get some people in the chat tonight. So they're going through the seasonal area. Up here, you would normally see at a NASCAR event all the campers, and it's strictly just for the seasonal I would call them residents, because they pay to be able to come to any race possible. And here we go. That safety car is going to come to pit road, and we are about to go green. There it goes, coming out of turn number 13. They're about to get the green flag from Barney the Flagman. And there we go, green flag is in the air. Going into turn 1 off the oval surface. So far, so civil. Back up onto the surface, running it wide. You're going to have to do that all race tonight. Got to be careful of losing it to get into the car, into the wall. And then back towards the infield to give you a better entrance into the seasonal lot. Right now, you see the drivers cutting through turns 6, 7 to 7 right here, down towards 8 to 9 is this left-hander, and back down towards the race course is turn 10. Here's turn 11 into 12 right here, and then 13 back up on the racetrack. Gonna get a good view out of Sheriff Mark Dillon's car for a lap around this racetrack. There he goes into turn 1 to turn 2. Back onto the race course is turn 3. Gonna get very close to that outside wall, past the New Hampshire sign towards the infield, making this turn 4 very wide. Oh, not very wide. Gonna use a little bit of the inside apron. Coming up the hill out through turn 5. Down the hill to turn 6 and back up the reverse carousel. Ooh, you can hear the little bit of a tire screech there. Turn 7. This is turn 8 right here. 9, the sweeping left-handed turn, and turn 10 back onto the race course. Very consistent Mark Dillon right now. Dillon's doing a very good job to keep that F4 vehicle underneath him and back towards the line. That is a lap here around New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Looks like Zachary Nurnberger just crashed. Let's see what happened here with this 32, losing 4 spots in the process. Back onto the racetrack. He's in the very bluish teal car, and he is, oh, wow. Big wheel hop there. I wonder if that was Tyler Watts as well. It was, and he is going to have to come to pit road with that damage. Both having to come to pit road. Now, what happened with Tony Watson? Do we have anything here for him? We do. Let's go back and see what happened here. Just going to loop it right there. And is he gonna? He's just gonna back it in and lose the rear wing. Very unfortunate. Apparently, he didn't lose the rear wing. He might just be stuck. Him trying to burn down those tires. And he's gonna have to jump to pit road. Very unfortunate. Very early on in this race. Let's go back to live and see what Mark Dillon is doing with almost a 4-second lead over Zach Purcell. Now, if I'm not mistaken, Mark Dillon was very good in those Pro 4 trucks, and about half this field ran that Pro 4 truck race, so they do have a little bit of they're familiar with it. English apparently today is not my forte, apparently. Watching as they're coming back towards the racing surface. There he goes. Mark Dillon stretching out his lead to about 4 seconds. Gonna look at Zach Purcell. Trying to find a nice battle on the racetrack. Everybody's pretty much spread out. We're gonna go with Dustin Vase and Aaron Claybaugh. And Paul Boyle. 3 of these cars seem to be very, very, much under a blanket as they're trying to get around the first portion of this racetrack. Here comes Clayball with a run. He's just going to be content with hiding behind Vase right now. But if they're not careful, Langenberg is catching them. But it also looks like that 91 is really driving it into these corners very deep. Could very much burn up those tires very fast. Everybody, the chat room is open. Feel free to hang out with me. And ooh, somebody goes very much off track. That is Dustin Vase. Maybe not Dustin Vase. Trying to find out who that was. I think that was Aaron Claybaugh. Let's go back. Looks like he looped it. Did he get in there a little too hot? Yeah, he did, and he clipped the 74 for it. Yeah, that's what we saw. The 65 using the runoff area, turn number 4. Ooh, and Zachary Nurnberger with another incident. Let's see what happens here with that 32 going into turn 1. You know, overcook the tires. He's already loose right there. He's in trouble already. Yeah. In that Burgert Farms Pony Express car. Gets it going. No damage on it. Just going to regroup and keep going. Mark Dillon right now still keeping about a 4-second lead over Zach Purcell in 2nd place. 3rd place, it is Paul Boyle, 6.5 seconds back. 9 seconds back of the leader is Tyler Langenberg, up 8 positions. Currently sitting in that 4th position. He is hauling the mail. Trying to catch Paul Boyle. Right now, Paul Boyle with the fastest lap of the race at a 101.99. Very fast race. You see it across the top of your screen, switching that over to the gap to the leader. Ooh, big issue for Langenberg. Big issue. He's going to go off track for almost 5 seconds. Going to lose a couple spots. James Boatman being very consistent and driving very well so far tonight in the 5th position. Good for him. Very good for him. Now we're going to see a battle for this 5th position. We already know that 91 is very fast of Langenberg. But the thing is, he's already made one mistake. He's cooked those tires just a little bit. How long is it going to take, and how much of it is going to take to get around this 205 of Boatman without contact? There is contact. Gonna see that from a different angle. Very unfortunate here as they're going up to the seasonal. Gonna give it a little bit of a closer shot. And just the wheels, just a little bit of contact, sending it flying. Gonna see it one more time, but this time we're gonna see it from the perspective of James Boatman. And now Tyler Langenberg. He's gonna have a really nice run in turn 5 up to turn 6, and they're just gonna clip tires. Five-second lead for Zach Purcell. Just pulling away so far from the field. Very strong in this first feature event with just about 10.5 minutes left. You are watching the Pony Express Open Wheel for Amateurs here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway on All-Star 15 TV. Brad McCombs, that number 23, having an issue. He is off track. Gonna go check that out. Heading back towards the racetrack. And he's just going to loop it and get out of the way because he has drivers coming. There goes Langenberg. Paul Boyle, Dustin Vase. Oh, Langenberg having another incident here. Going into turn one. Turn one very difficult coming off of the racing surface and just going to do a donut, try to get going the right way and just lose a little bit of time. James Boatman having an issue. After he was running very well. Same spot Langenberg had the issue. Back up on the racetrack, and he's just gonna misjudge the throttle point and spin it just a little bit. Gonna get going. No damage on that 205 machine. Mark Dillon now with a 6-second lead on Zach Purcell. Very strong for this number 3 in this first feature. And there's Zach Purcell. You see the difference there, just about 6 seconds. And then 2 seconds back to Paul Boyle. After Paul Boyle, it is 4th place, Dustin Vase, 15.5 seconds back. And right behind him, it is that Brad McCombs 23 machine. We're going to actually stick with this. Looks like a very good battle picking up. Dustin's slowly pulling away, but as I say that, McCombs has a little bit of that draft. Gonna run it wide into turn one, trying to get a little bit better of a middle section and an exit. Has the lead down to just a half a second. Down to 4/10. Vase does a good job outbraking McCombs going into the seasonal parking lot. Still remaining at a half a second, down to 4/10. 3.5 tenths. Closing the 3/10. 2/10. Very strong run by McCombs here. And Dustin Vase very strong on the second portion of this racetrack. A lot. Getting back to a 0.6 second of lead advantage over Brad McCombs. McCombs gonna overdrive turn one, turn two. Let's see how they get back on the racetrack for turn three. Ooh, Tristan having an issue in front of them. He's gonna get out of the way, let them battle for 6.5 seconds remain in feature number one. It is all Sheriff Mark Dillon. He can just set sail. There's no cautions at all. And so far, he can just put lap time after lap time down. Doesn't need to do anything fancy. He has a 6-second lead, 6.5 second lead. Now down to 6.2, 6.1. We're going to see the sector advantages between our leaders right now. Boatman getting out of the way again after getting loose, coming back onto the racetrack. You could see it. It's not by much, but Mark Dillon is pulling away Just about 8/10 of a second a lap right there. Oh no, just about a second there. And I'd see it for one more lap. That transition from the racetrack to the seasonal area, very difficult to judge your throttle point, but look at Purcell fighting back a little bit. 2 sectors in a row, gaining a little time on race leader, Mark Dillon. So last lap, Dillon pulled away by a second. We're looking at 6/10 right now. And how was this lap? Very much faster by Purcell. 2, 4, 7, 7.5 tenths there, and still closing. Mark Dillon also might have to deal with some lap traffic coming up on the back bumper of Zachary Nurnberger. Watching your leader right there with 3.5 seconds left. You see Nurnberger just in that teal machine that just flashed across the top of the screen. There he is once again. Just about 3 laps to go. Possibly 4. But here is your top 5 once again. That's Sheriff Mark Dillon, Zach Purcell sitting in second. Third goes to Paul Boyle. Dustin Vase going to sit in fourth. And Tyler Langenberg, after having a couple incidents, going to come back to run in that 5th position. Ooh, and Paul Boyle has a big issue. Paul Boyle sitting in that 3rd spot. Hasn't lost that 3rd spot yet. But here we go. As he crosses the start-finish line, probably happening in turn 1 or 2. Ooh, he's just going to lock it down, get on the grass for a split second. Ooh, and James Boatman's going to wreck right after he does. And he's going to go, get back on the racetrack and go. Brad McCombs with a big issue there. Watching that 23 going into turn 1, he's very high. Makes me think coming out of, yep, the infield, he's going to loop it, point it in the right direction, and get going once again. Nurnberger with another issue. Turn 1 and the entrance back onto the oval surface. I think that's turn 3. Issues with everybody. Ooh, and Mark Dillon had to squeeze on by. I'm gonna go back up to your leader, Sheriff Mark Dillon, as Purcell has put it under 5 seconds, but a little bit too late here with a minute and a half remaining. This will not be the white flag of the first feature. We will go 2 more laps. Gonna try to get a hold of our feature number 1 winner, Mark Dillon, after this first feature, if he does win this event, or pretty much anybody, if they win a feature, we'll try to bring them up. And remember, we invert the field for feature number 2. First place goes back to 10th, and 10th goes to 1st. It's going to be very interesting to see how the faster drivers try to cut through the field. And here he comes towards the white flag. White flag is in the air for Mark Dillon. Purcell has the lead under 5 seconds, closing in pretty fast, but it is just a little too late. Going through the seasonal area one last time for feature number 1. Making sure he hits his marks, making sure he doesn't throttle too hard and spin out. But for the most part, no mistakes from Mark Dillon. Coming out of 13. Heading towards the line. Sheriff Mark Dillon wins feature number 1 here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. All right, let's get a talking to Mark Dillon here. Mark, it's AJ Capola up in the broadcast booth. Do you have a copy, pal?
I do. How's it going?
Holy cow, dude. What a butt whooping on the field in that first feature. You backed up your qualifying lap with that. How's being a little familiar with this racetrack feel in these F4 cars, and talk about how you're going to try to get from 10th to 1st in the second feature.
Oh, man, yeah. You definitely remember that Pro 4 race we ran here. Like I was telling you last week, my first road course race ever on iRacing, I feel like, was Skippy's at this track. It's a lot of fun, a lot of twists and turns and elevation changes, and so if you know this track a little bit, it gives you a bit of an advantage, just knowing the track. So
yeah, man, and you put a butt whoop, and Zach Purcell was actually closing in pretty fast within the last 5 laps, but just couldn't overcome, I think, a 7-second deficit at one point. Very fast. And how are you going to try to get back towards the front in the second feature?
Oh man, I don't think that's possible. I'm not the fastest guy out there. I know there was guys out there running 101.3s in that first heat. I just, got to start up front. So, yeah, I don't think I can go 10th to 1st. All I can hope for is to keep it on the track, go incident free, get some bonus points, and pass anybody that doesn't keep it on the track. So.
All right, brother. Well, you got 50 seconds left in the warm-up. Good luck. Hopefully we get to talk to you after the second feature, and that means you'd be on a podium.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
All right, dude. That was Sheriff Mark Dillon, winner of feature number 1. 30 seconds before we get to feature number 2. So here are the results of the first feature. Show them on your screen. There they are. Oh, missed a spot. There we go. Pony Express Open Wheel for Amateurs. New Hampshire Heat 1 results, which feature Mark Dillon, Zach Purcell, Paul Boyle, Dustin Vase, and Tyler Langenberg going to round out your top 5. Tyler Watts, Brad McComb, 6th and 7th. 8th goes to Aaron Claybaugh. 9th to James Boatman, and 10th to Zachary Nurnberger, Tristan Buse, and Tony Watson going to round out the field. But before we go any further, we are going to send it to the Nerds Doing Nerd Things podcast. And then we'll be back. We'll show you the starting lineup for feature.
From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join Nerds Doing Nerd Things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
All right, we are back. Thank you everybody for sticking with us there. Here is the grid for feature number 2. Zachary Nuremberger, James Boatman on your front row. Your second row consists of Aaron Claybaugh and Brad McCombs. Row number 3 goes to Tyler Watts and Tyler Langenberg. Row number 4, Dustin Vase, Paul Boyle. Row number 5, Zach Purcell, second place finisher in feature 1. Feature number 1's winner, Sheriff Mark Dillon's going to start 10th. In 11th, it's Tristan Buse, and 12th, Tony Watson. Looking at that number 3 Pony Express F4 car. Gonna go up to Zachary Nuremberger because he's gonna lead this field to green here tonight. Here we go. We have 30 minutes of racing here. And then we will talk to all 3 podium finishers. And then afterwards, if you want to stick with the channel, around 9:15, we'll be playing some Arkham City for about an hour, 2 hours. Should be a lot of fun. Pace cars hitting pit road. And there we go. Zachary Nuremberger with the excellent launch there, followed by James Boatman into turn 1. So far, just a little stack up between Tyler Langenberg and Tyler Watts. Nuremberger with a very good couple first turns there. Looked like Brad McCombs was going to attempt to pass on Aaron Claybaugh. Man, gotta love the sound of those cars. So, why don't we do this? We'll complete the next lap on our race leader's car. And then from there, we will go to a crank it up. Don't know why I did a little William Shatner, Captain Kirk voice right there. But it worked. Or at least I thought it worked. Expect some pitting going on in this second feature, with it being a half hour long instead of 20 minutes. Don't hear a lot of tire screeching. Ooh, a little bit right there. A little bit of a lockup. Ooh. A little bit of a bottom out right there. All right, here we go. We're going to go to a Crank It Up, powered by the Nerds Doing Nerd Things podcast. back, everybody. Big battle up front. You saw a couple incidents with Brad McCombs and Tyler Langenberg. But right now, the fastest lap goes to that second place car, Tyler Watts in that 95 Pony Express machine. With just about 24 and a half minutes left, it is plenty of time. But we have a 3-car breakaway between Nürnberger, Watts, and Claybaugh, and then the second pack here led by Langenberg, Dillon, and Buse. What's going on, everybody watching in the YouTubes? You're watching the Pony Express Open Wheel for Amateurs here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Hit that like button, subscribe to All-Star 15 TV. We do a lot more than iRacing, but in this week's episodes of the iRacing Leagues, it is right now the Pony Express Open Wheel for Amateurs at New Hampshire. Wednesday night, it is the Buddy Poppel Insurance 150 at Charlotte Motor Speedway. And then Thursday, we return to New Hampshire Motor Speedway for the Nerds Doing Nerd Things 150. The Wheels America Cup Series. It is their championship race. Who will win this Season 2 championship? Will it either be Jonathan Wright, Jeff Tetro, or Mitch Diamond? Unfortunately, Frankie Barroso cannot make the event, so he will finish the season in the 4th position. But we return to New Hampshire in just a couple days' time to crown a champion for the Wheels America Cup Series. Still, we have this awesome battle up front. And we have a huge battle there. Tyler Watts trying to make the pass, but all three under a big blanket here as they're making the reverse carousel turn. Ooh, Nürnberger, little squirrely on those outside rumble strips. Still side by side. Right now, Nürnberger still holding that top spot after all those shenanigans in the seasonal parking area. Langenberg closing in on this front pack, leaving that second pack just about a second and a half away from the leader, Zachary Nürnberger. Langenberg doing a fantastic job and has the fastest lap of feature number 2. Still hauling the mail, closing in on the back of this pack. It is Zachary Nürnberger and Tyler Watts battling for that top spot right now. A lot of pressure being put on the race leader. Mark Dillon with the fastest Sector 3 of the race so far. And it's not even close. 3/10 faster than the rest of the field. Aaron Claybaugh trying to protect that 3rd position from Langenberg. As Langenberg is still blinking out. Issues once again. Ooh, multiple people spin. Mark Dillon spins. Purcell spins. Tony Watts spins. Whoa, Whoa! Big incident here. Go to that chase view on that 3 machine. And Dylan has had to jump to pit road. That looks very... Oh, and he's going to come back up on track in front of Brad McCombs. Oh, that F4 is dead. Oh, big incident there. Very unfortunate. Just looked like he was reacting to, I think that was Tristan spinning. '95 getting a little too hot. Nürnberger's gonna spin, giving the lead to Claybaugh. Big incident there. We'll see that once again. Gonna also go far chase view here. You're on the 32 in the teal machine. Does Watts get into him? Nothing yet, nothing yet. Just a little bit right there. Little contact sends him around. Nürnberger's probably not happy about that. But right now, Aaron Claybaugh, your leader over Tyler Watts by just under a half a second. Langenberg and Nürnberger are on pit road servicing their vehicle now that we're under 20 minutes to go. They know they can make it to the end. Tyler Watts with the fastest Sector 1 of the race. Steve Tucker in the chat. What is going on, brother? That is the league owner of the Wheels America Cup Series, and we will return the New Hampshire Motor Speedway, like I said earlier, for the Wheels America Cup Series Championship race here on All-Star 15 TV. Jonathan Wright, Jeff Tetro, Mitch Diamond, all going for that top spot to close out season number 2. Fortunately, like I said, Frankie Barroso won't be able to make it. Barroso. Apologize. Took some flack on that. Also looks like the 95 has a little bit of a mechanical issue grinding on the ground. A lot of sparks off of that 95 machine there. If it's your first time on the channel, please hit that like button. Subscribe to All-Star 15 TV. We do a lot of fun stuff on the channel. We had Tyler Langenberg and Zachary Nürnberger both pitting at the same time. Just about 20 seconds back off the leader is Langenberg. Very fast. Maybe he just needed a little separation to close back in on those top drivers to probably bunny hop them when they have to pit. 16 minutes to go. Just about 16 laps, actually, when they're running a minute 1 to a minute 2 a lap. So far, everybody's doing a really good job. Yes, Steve, these are the F4 cars. They are a lot of fun every Monday night. They put on an excellent show. Currently watching that 91 of Tyler Langenberg in that 6th spot, chipping away at Aaron Claybaugh's lead up front and Tyler Watts. Well, let's go check in on that battle. They're catching the 23 of Brad McCombs to put him a lap down. Playball with a very, very tight turn into the season a lot. Man, I've had a lot of fun up in that season a lot. Only once, actually, being up there for a race. Because they give you a wristband. And they tell you, only you can come up here. You can't bring anybody else in here. Well, we kind of finagled it where we, snuck in. Ooh. And then went over to Animal Hill afterwards. I used to come up to New Hampshire all the time. Big issue with Claybaugh, as he's going to come to pit road, lock up the tires to get down the speed. Almost went off track. So he's really going to split this final feature in half. We're watching him to make sure he hits his pit box in time, and then we will switch over to Tyler Watts. Let's see if everything goes well. Yep, stops in his box perfectly. There's Tyler Watts going up into the seasonal lot. Yeah, Steve, I will actually get you on board with... Let's go on with Langenberg. Gonna give you about a lap and a half of a view here. I'm gonna listen to his engine, his tires, the shift points. Very fast, very, very fast in that 91 machine. All right, here we go. Going down the front stretch, past the start-finish line right there, down into turn 1 off of the NASCAR oval. Turn 2 is a right-hander, and then back on the racetrack into turn 3. Gonna come back off the racetrack to make it easier. Here is turn number 4, and then turn 5 at the top of the hill. Slowly catching Zach Purcell in that blue and green car. Turn 6, the carousel turn. Turn 7. Turn 8. And then turn 9 all the way back. Oop, Langenberg having an issue there. Uh-oh. There he goes, he's back. And here's turn 11 to turn 12. And then back on the racetrack is turn 13. That is one lap around New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Tyler Watts still your leader by 10, almost 11 seconds at 10.92. Gonna switch it over to the gap. I apologize for accidentally leaving that on too long. Very fun track. Don't know if I would take a cup car up into this, but I have seen ARCA and a super late model race do this, which it was very weird, very cool. Unfortunately, a lot of power on those vehicles and a lot of spinouts. But there's your leader, the 95 of Tyler Watts. Gonna have to hit pit road within the next, most likely 2 to 3 minutes, 4 at most. You saw a lot of drivers just cut it in half or just get past the 20-minute mark or the 10-minute mark with 20 minutes left, because that's literally what we did in feature 1. Was 20 minutes and everybody seemed to be able to make it there. But what a gap Watts is figuring out. 11 and a half seconds, but for position here, gonna go back to Zach Purcell, because he has Langenberg and Claybaugh right behind him, coming with a full head of steam. Tristan Buse on pit road, going to give up that second position to go get tires and fuel. There goes Langenberg past the 51 of Purcell. And let's see if Claybaugh can make the pass going into possibly turn number 4 and then up the hill. Don't know if he's going to be close enough. Turn 3 right here is really gonna make it or break it. He's definitely looking, and Purcell's giving him the room. Now you have Tyler Langenberg and Claybaugh now setting sights on the 14 of Paul Boyle, 2.5 seconds ahead. This very much could be the battle for the lead. Tyler Watts makes the pit stop, comes out in front of Langenberg and Claybaugh by just a half a second. Man, that put all 4 drivers under 2 seconds of each other. And Boyle is keeping it at about 1.75. Just about a second and 3/4. Now just at a second and a half. Here comes Tyler Watts closing in just a little bit there. Very good run by the 91 trying to make the pass as Boyle hits pit road. They are side by side as they cross the start finish line. Langenberg with the advantage entering turn 1. Tyler Watts very strong on the outside. Gonna try to cut off the 91. They are still side by side as they come down the turn number 4. Here comes Aaron Claybaugh really hard on the brakes as they come up the hill to turn number 5 and head towards turn 6. No panic. Watts saw that Langenberg was making a move, didn't panic, and was able to get that position back on the outside, pinch the 91 a little bit, and maintain and have the able to cause then the 65 and the 91 to battle and allow him to pull away. We have 6.5 minutes remaining here, just about 6 laps. The sights and sounds of Loudon, New Hampshire Motor Speedway. And ooh, very much thought the 95 was going to go off course a little bit there. Sometimes when you just clip the grass, you just lose the vehicle. Fastest lap of the race goes to Brad McCombs at a 101.24. He currently sits in that 8th position, about 42 seconds back of the race leader. Currently looking at the 95 of Tyler Watts as he's putting on consistent lap after consistent lap. Unfortunately, feature number 1 winner, Sheriff Mark Dillon, has an incident going into turn 4 on lap number, let's say 5. And unfortunately, comes back up on the racetrack and clips Brad McCombs, causing his right front tire to then be punted into the stands. Langenberg spins. Langenberg spins. Not good. Not good. He was running very fast. We're going to watch it again. We're going to see it from his perspective. His perspective. Let's see. It looks like it could possibly be from the transition and just loses it. Clips the grass there. Clips the... Oh, yeah. A little too hard on the throttle, and he is aiming the wrong way. Literally aimed it at that Mohegan Sun Casino sign. Been there. Very nice place, actually. And he's going to get going. Now, unfortunately, 6 seconds back off the leader. Closing in on the finish tonight. We will talk to the top 3 finishers in feature number 2 here. Right now, Aaron Claybaugh putting a lot of pressure on the 95 of Tyler Watts. Here comes the run by Claybaugh. And gonna try to outbrake the 95 a little bit. Gonna have a really good entrance up turn 5. Heading down turn 6 to the carousel. Just tenths away. Watching it back as they come towards the racetrack here. Ooh, little grass hop in there, but didn't hurt time at all. You're looking at just a tenth separating the two. Gonna see if the 65 can try to go around the outside. Not gonna be able to. Gonna have to really push the envelope to just get side by side. Just looks like that 95 of Watts can just accelerate just a little bit better here in the later goings. Very close. Looks like the 95 just a little squirrely, maybe opening a door for the 65 of Claybaugh. They're going to get back on the racetrack. Here comes the 65 trying to use the draft of Watts. Going to drive it in extra hard. Going to see if he can stick it to the outside. No, he can't. Only going to have about 2 more attempts. And I was mistaking. Mark Dillon's incident happened on lap 9. Tyler Watts now pulling away from Aaron Claybaugh in second. Ooh, Claybaugh goes really wide there. Gonna lose 2 tenths because of it. And we are getting the white flag at New Hampshire Motor Speedway for the final time. Going into turn number 1 is that 65. Very, very strong through the first portion of this course. Little squirrely coming off of turn number 3. Looks like he's overdriving it very much now. That lead has opened up to just about a second. If Tyler Watts can just stay consistent, he will win feature number 2 at New Hampshire, but he still has half a lap to go. onto the inner workings of New Hampshire Motor Speedway, out of turn number 13, past the pit road. Tyler Watts is going to win here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway, followed by Aaron Claybaugh, Tyler Langenberg. We have a big gap to 4th and 5th place. Here's that battle. Can Tony Watts overcome Paul Boyle? Going to cut it to the inside. They are side by side heading back towards the line. And Paul Boyle will come home 4th after that awesome battle right there to the finish with Tony Watson. Zachary Nurnberger crossing the line in 6th. Zach Purcell coming out of turn 13, heading towards the line one final time. Going to come home in that 7th position. And Brad McCombs in the 23 will sit P8. So let's see if we can get our race winner, Tyler Watts. Here he is. Tyler Watts, AJ Capole in the NDNT broadcast booth. Do you have a copy, pal?
Yes, sir.
Holy cow, dude. What an amazing battle. All race, kicked some major butt in that second feature. Take us through it. Take us through the battles you had with Aaron Claybaugh and company.
Yeah, it was nuts. First of all, Zach in the beginning, it was crazy because we were running such different laps. Like, our lines were so different, but our lap times were the exact same. So there was really nothing we could do to get by each other. Unfortunately, we came together in that one corner, which we still don't know. We were talking about it. We don't know if it's net code or if it was I ran into the backup, and we don't know. So apologies to Zach. And then Aaron, I thought him pitting early would give me an advantage where I could run in some clean air, get a gap, and then seeing him come out behind me was, I think, the scariest thing I've ever seen in my life. But yeah, he was pushing me quite a bit, and honestly, I thought at one point I was gonna lose it, but no, we were able to keep it together, and it was a really good race, most fun race I've had all season for sure.
Yeah, it's interesting when you come to a track like this, normal NASCAR, flat track, and actually use the road course that a lot of people don't know about. How did it treat you tonight? It looked like for at least the second feature it was very well. It's unique in its own way, but why don't you talk about how the car felt and the course?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Honestly, I was saying like a week ago that this is probably the most look forward to race in my book of all season. I was kind of complaining. I wanted us to use the NASCAR turn 1 and 2 instead of having the little like kink, because I really wanted to use the banking, but it actually worked out in my advantage because I feel like that was where I gained all my lap time was in the first 2 corners. So obviously grateful they put that in. But no, like I said, this was probably the most demanding race of the season, and everyone was kind of complaining about that during the race. It was just so physical. It was hard to keep a hold of the car, and whenever you have the drop-offs, like going from the road course back onto the oval, you hit your car bounce, and every time you have to kind of clinch because you feel like it's going to go around. So that was kind of rough, but it was a really, really fun track, and I'm really glad we got to race here.
Hey, the harder racetracks make for the better racing, because it
Exactly.
means just anybody can't just show up and contend. You really need to put in the time in it, and it shows a lot of drivers really put in the time tonight. So we're gonna let you go and celebrate the win here tonight. Any last words before we let you go party?
Honestly, I've been dreaming of winning a race for a long time. Thought of the words I was gonna say, and now that I'm here, I don't have any. So, shout out to number 95, Lightning McQueen. Ka-chow. That's about all I got.
There you go. I like that. As a huge Disney fan, I really like that. All right, Tyler. We'll catch you later,
Alrighty, man.
pal.
Yep. Appreciate it. Have a good one.
All right, let's talk to second place, Aaron Claybaugh. Currently, actually, don't see him in Discord, unfortunately. So we're going to talk to third place, Tyler Langenberg. Tyler, it's AJ Capole in the NDNT broadcast booth. Do you have a copy, pal?
Hello, I do.
Hey, what is up, dude? Holy cow, you were hauling the mail, and an unfortunate spin and everything kind of unfortunately knocks you out of contention for the win, but you were wheeling them down big time. Talk about the first feature and the second feature and how you felt it went tonight.
Yeah, that coming into today, I only had like barely an hour of practice because I just got back from Atlanta doing a photo shoot for at Atlanta Motorsports Park, which that was a fun weekend. Shout out to the D-Line guys, by the way. Um, so I didn't have much practice coming in, and the only like stuff that I actually did here was a Pro 2 light around this track, which obviously that's the perfect thing to practice in for this track. Um, but yeah, for me it was just a lot of the bits were just too free, even when I'm not behind some cars. So first race I just basically testing the water, see what I couldn't do, and finished I think P5 or 6, I believe.
In feature
Yeah,
number 1, you finished.
I got
Yes,
P5.
P5.
Yeah, I got P5, which isn't bad. But then in the race, obviously I had the chance to win, but then kind of blew it away there. A couple laps to go.
It happens, but
Unfortunate.
you are fast every week, pal.
Yeah, unfortunate. Every week I feel I have the speed, but tiny mess ups like that just can cost you sometimes.
Yeah, dude.
So this is also one of those tracks where it's hard to overtake it. So yeah,
You also made some very good passes when you talk about the overtake and the difficulty of that overtake. There were some passes where I really weren't expecting them, especially out of turn 3 and then in turn 12 before you head back to 13 in the front stretch, where you were just putting the power down and getting by somebody or extending leads. So, you were very fast, and I can't wait to see the rest of the season. I 100% expecting you to really contend for more wins.
I'll be honest, I didn't even know track numbers coming into this, or corner numbers, I should say.
I
So
put
I don't know what corners you're talking about.
turn 3 is
Let me see it.
entering the backstretch out of the infield in turn 2.
So basically oval turn 2.
Yes.
Yeah, that one, if you got a good run and didn't get loose on apex, you would have been good to get maybe to get a nose in there.
Yeah.
Like that's a short straight. So
And turn 12 and 13. 12 is the little point before heading to 13, like aiming at pit road. And then 13's back on the racetrack.
yeah, I see that. I did try and overtake on someone in turn 5 because they went a bit wide
Yeah.
on turn 4, and then I saw an opportunity in turn 5, but that resulted in contact. But other than that, and the half spin and the early or later in this second feature, it was a challenging track. I'll give it that.
Oh, it's 100% a challenging track, and I think that's why it was such good racing, because you guys really had to wheel it and deal it tonight. And you come home third in the second feature. Any last words before we let you go, and we'll see you next week?
Yeah, shout out to the D-Line guys. Again, thank you for having me out at AMP this week. If y'all watching, I'm not sure. Um, sometimes they watch, sometimes they don't. So I don't know.
Well, all right, brother. We will catch you next week. You have a good one, and I can't wait. You guys put on a hell of a show every week.
I don't even know where we're at next week. So
I'm pulling it up right now. I was trying to stall. You guys are at Knock Hill International, and it's not next week. It's June 6th, because next week is Memorial Day.
Yeah.
All right, brother. We'll catch you later, dude.
Yep. All right. I'll see you.
All right, that was our P3 finisher, Tyler Langenberg. All right, everybody. Those are the feature results tonight. Tyler Watts comes home in the first position. Then Aaron Claybaugh, Tyler Langenberg going to round out the podium. Paul Boyle going to finish fourth. Tony Watts, fifth. Sixth place goes to Zachary Nurnberger. Zach Purcell going to finish seventh. Eighth goes to Brad McCombs. Ninth, Tristan Buse. 10th, Dustin Vase. James Boatman comes home in 11th. And Mark Dillon comes home 12th after winning feature number 1 tonight. Y'all have a wonderful evening. We will see you on Wednesday for the Thunderstorm League of Racing. The Buddy Poppel Insurance 150 at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Be there or be square. But until then, have a good one. Stay safe, stay cool, and everybody, please stay classy.
From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.